If you are looking for the only way to set up your ad account for your e-com store in 2025, you found the perfect video, because I have spent millions of dollars on ads, running ads for e-com brands over the last 8 years. And the evolution of Meta has been insane. And we have cracked the code based on our efficiencies, our effectiveness, and our creative testing, where I can confidently tell you this is the structure that you should run with. If you want to get into it, keep watching. Hey guys, my name's Chris Marrano, founder of Blue Water Marketing, an agency that scales e-com brands. And I'm here to share all of my knowledge with you, especially because it's the new year and we're kicking things off on the right foot. And so I want to help you achieve your goals. As I mentioned, Meta has gone through a transformation of different ways of running ads over the last 11 years I've been running ads. For a while, it was just throw anything up there, target the most specific audience you could find, and you would get conversions. Then 2020 happened, and it was kind of a tough way to get by on Meta. And then the evolution of DCT ads, and then scaling creative and having all these different ads running, but you didn't really know what worked and what didn't, because you had 10 ads running in one ad set and you weren't sure because you had 10 different headlines and copy variations. Well, it doesn't have to be that difficult, and that's what I want to break down today. So I'm going to walk you through an actual setup in real time so that you can follow along step by step. So without further ado, let's hop in. All right, so we are building out a campaign. If you follow me, you know that I don't usually do this. I show you more of the results side of things, but this is going to be the most important video that you watch this year, because I can almost promise you that you're going to get results. So obviously, we're in e-com. Sales is the objective. We're not going to do an ASC campaign to start. I want to do a manual sales campaign. All right, so think about the structure of your ad account. Chances are you have 4 or 5 products that are your best sellers. Each of those will have their own campaign. They're actually gonna have 2, and we're gonna keep walking through this. So what I first wanna start you with, and if you guys want, leave a comment down below. I'll give you our naming convention generator, which is our framework to make things so easy. So we're gonna start, for me, it's just BWM, company name. From here, product 1. Test campaign, ABO. So for test campaigns, we want to be running ABO. That is because I want to test across the board evenly. I want to have as much control as possible while still giving the algorithm enough data to find my ideal customers. From here, this is where things need to get a little bit more specific, right? You're like, all right, Chris, great. Product 1 test campaign. Okay, fantastic. From here, we want to isolate what are we testing. So I want to do creative, meaning within this, I'm going to have the exact same ad copy, but different creative assets. So then we're going to do our batch. So we'll just say 1/7/25, batch 1. And then we're going to do interest or broad based on whatever your targeting approach looks like. Age, 30, 64. And then based on your historic data, I would say like male, female, or just female, whatever that is. So we have a pretty in-depth tracking system, which I shared in the previous video. And if you want to see that, you can click this link right here. Otherwise, I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of that, which is right here. And so you can see we have our creative concept name. So this, in theory, if I was building this out to one of our clients, would actually go right here, like round 3, which you can see a direct correlation with round 2 here. And then our concept name is the ad name. And you can see we have our file name over on this, which associates with this concept name. So we're building that out. So we're saying round 3, this is a creative test. And obviously we want website, maximize goals, etc., daily budgets. We're not getting into any of that. Personally, I still like running with audience options. Personally, I would switch this to an original audience because there is a huge ripple that's taking place. And I actually just got an email from Meta a couple weeks ago, I'm sure you did too, that says broad is a minimum of 2 million people. So there's all these gurus out here saying broad, don't run any interest. Guys, interest still worked. We're literally testing them still every day. To the point though of Meta is we don't want to find audiences with like 500,000 people anymore, even less than that. We want to find millions of people that are still relevant to whatever we're selling. So we're still testing them and we're still seeing phenomenal results when you throw a single interest in or a large lookalike audience. Those are still going to be really important. Believe it or not, you heard it from me, they still work, which is why I like having control over my audience. From here, we're going to go into our naming convention. So again, we're going creative, date, 7, concept name, and then from there, this is a copy control. That is the only thing that's not being tested right now is the copy. We already have a winning copy, so we want to test against different creative. So from here, we're going to duplicate this 4 more times. So now we have 5 ads. Now, what I would do in this scenario is I'm going to edit all of these at once by holding Command down on a Mac. I'm going to make all of the changes. Now, importantly though, is the only difference that you have here is going to be your creative. So I'll just do this one. Put this in, put this. This is one of my short form pieces of content that I publish on Instagram and TikTok. So we have that. Now we're going to do primary text 1, and we're taking that and we're putting it in every single one of these ads. So that is how you should be structuring your ad account. From here, if you have a winning creative, this is really important. I want you to make it even better. So now what we're going to do, we have that test campaign going. From here, I'm going to go back into my ABO. I'm going to duplicate it, original campaign. And from here, we're changing this. So now we're doing a copy test. Round 3, same exact everything else, guys. And we're going down here. And so we're saying creative control, meaning there is no other variances other than the creative. And so here we're going copy. I'm gonna take this and I'm going to paste it into all of these with a different concept or angle in this scenario. So for copy, what we're going to do is we're going to determine the angle that we're presenting out. So in this scenario, let's say we're selling hair stuff. I'm going to use soft, right? That's our angle. I'm going to use organic. Those are the different angles that we're going to be testing within the copy. So now you have one creative asset running against 5 different pieces of copy. Now, ideally, the next step of this, after you've isolated all of these things, you have now done your creative test. You've found your top 2 creatives. You're going to run a copy test. This copy test will have 5 unique pieces of copy. All of them will be different. Now you're running the same creative, different copy. In theory, you now have the ability to find out which copy works the best because you're running against the exact same ad creative. From there, you want to take the post ID. So what we're going to do in this scenario is I'm going to create a new campaign. We're going sales, manual sales. This one is going to be a CBO because I don't really care anymore. Facebook, I have isolated variables within a single ad to say this one is the top performing ad because we have the best creative and now we have the best copy. So what we're going to do is create our scale campaign. So what this is going to be is BWM product 1 scale CBO. And the reason for CBO is realistically just because at this point, I don't care. I'm running one ad set. What we're going to do here is date 1/7/25, product 1 winners. Broad. Everything I just told you about interest and lookalikes kind of go out the window because now I have isolated efficiency, creative, copy at scale. So there has to be a good amount of purchases that have come through at the cost per acquisition we are looking to hit or our CAC targets. From there, I want to take this post ID and put it in front of as many people as possible that Meta will say are more likely to buy this product. And that is where we start to scale. So this is the framework. So from here, we want to go down, and on the ad itself, we're taking a post ID. So the ad name will be the same exact naming convention as before, taking out, and you want to take the post ID. So in this scenario, we're going to use existing post. And because this is my own personal page, it doesn't have much there, but you'll take the post that you have. So you need to copy the post ID. There is a phenomenal Chrome extension that is called Post ID Display that you'll be able to quickly just insert your post ID right here. And there it is. Now, the reason you want to do that is super important. It's because that post ID has all of the engagement and the history of all of the purchases that have come through, making it very, very important that you're using a post ID, not starting from scratch, even though you're using the same exact creative. The creative is the same, but the data is not, because it doesn't have all that historical information. So that is how we are setting up all of our campaigns. We have product, one, or collection if your collections are set up in a way that you can baseline your margins and your acquisition costs and your AOV. That's fine too. I prefer doing it this way with specific best-selling products. Then you can scale up using this system. Now, the key to this is to make sure that you are always testing new ads in your testing campaign. Make sure there's 5 running at all time, and they turn off, they turn on, they turn off. We use a very strict set of rules in how we're media buying, but testing is always key. And then tracking that, which again, you can watch the video up here to establish how we're tracking all of these creatives. I really hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, hit thumbs up, hit subscribe, get notified every time I put out a new video, and I hope to see you guys next week.